And we're all watching.
Don't get nervous.
Oh, please don't get nervous.
Sorry, it just has me like in a specific place.
It's okay.
Yeah, there's plenty of room around back.
Come around this side.
Get out of the way.
Good mirror.
I'm going to get out of the way. I've seen this once or twice.
Oh, really?
So all the tall people came in.
20% battery. Talk fast.
Short little people.
Okay, so let's start. So today we're going to do a lip augmentation, and again, I'm going to tell you how I personally like doing it. I think my method is actually very different than how a lot of people do it. I have very few injections, and I think because of that, there's a lot less swelling, and actually I think it looks a lot more natural. So, from an anatomical standpoint, what we're trying to do is, her lips actually look pretty good to start with. What we're trying to do for her is just a little bit of augmentation, nothing to be, not to be really dramatic about it. So if you look at her, and I'm going to pick on you a little bit, again, her lips actually look really pretty good. What you want is the upper lip to be slightly smaller than the lower lip, and that's something that I actually find pretty, how a lot of other doctors do things wrongly. I don't think they know what aesthetic models should be, and they make the upper lip much too large. And so if you look at magazines and young people, you'll see that the lower lip is almost always larger than the upper lip, and that's what's natural. So to do the opposite is unnatural. What you also want to do is make a very distinct, what we call a vermilion border. And so the border between this pink portion and the skin, that's called the vermilion border, and that you actually want to be distinct. And so that's one of the goals for today. The other thing is, as we get older, we lose volume in both the upper and the lower lip. And a lot of people attribute it to smoking and things like that, but it's really not. What they start seeing is that they start getting these little vertical lines, and that's not because of smoking, because a lot of people these days don't even smoke. It's really just because we're losing volume in the lip, and so if you just replenish some of that volume back, then the lip actually looks better and you reduce those lines. And so, so for today, my goal for her is not to actually change very much, is just to kind of create some of the natural anatomy of what I think she should have, which is not do too much on the upper lip except to give her this little vermilion, but also to put a little bit of filler up way high, because when you plump this up, that not only just reduces these lines, but it actually turns your lip up, and that gives you that, what we call this Cupid's bow. And so a lot of, again, other people, they just put it really right into the lip, and to be honest, I think that's wrong. If you just put it into that line and above the lip, that actually is more natural. And then for the lower lip, we'll just plump it up a little bit, because her lower lip looks pretty good to start with. Okay, so to start with, I've already numbed her up, and that's another thing that I generally like to do, because when you stick a needle into someone's lip, it really, really hurts. So, yeah, so for her, we've already numbed her up, and what we've done is we've given her 4 shots, but it was not into her lip whatsoever. There's a shot here, there's a shot there, there's a shot here, and a shot there, and those shots hurt too, but nothing even close to what I think a lip shot would be. So she's already numb, and so let's do this. Up here. About it now. Okay, so again, I'm just going up this line. Okay, and again, I'm not putting in very much, just really enough to just accentuate that line.
And how long is this going to last?
It's about a year. Okay, so now that I've done this border, the next step really is actually not even in the lip itself, it's above the lip. And so we're going to put it above the lip here and really into this column here. And as I do it, you can almost see those lines just go away. Okay, and then we'll do the other side. So you can see I'm actually barely putting anything into the lip itself. It's really just above that lip into that line, vermilion border. Are you hurting?
Nope.
Good. Okay, so that's the border. And again, we're going to put it above the border. And that's going to reduce those vertical lines. Okay, and you can see
I couldn't feel it at all.
the lip looks bigger. It's swollen now, but it looks bigger, but it looks like it's actually upturned a little bit, which is what you want, and that's that. So when people do it into the lip itself, it just looks unnatural, actually, in my mind anyway. Okay, and so last step is I'm going to put some more right up here, and it's going to be subtle, but you're going to see that it turns up a little bit more, and it's above the lip.
Does she have, can she feel that in her lip?
Nope.
No, after it's worn off.
Hope not. No.
So it just feels like your
No,
lips.
it feels like jelly. Okay, so now we're going to do the lower lip. And so not much in the lower lip, and it's kind of halfway into the substance, but it's really just accentuating that line again. Okay? And again, she's already been numb, so she really doesn't feel anything. And then we'll do the other side. And actually, I'm going to run out. Good. And I think that's going to look pretty natural. And it's already a little bit swollen. And so I'll get some of this blood off. And if you watch other videos, you're going to see people putting all sorts of shots into the lip, and they'll do like 10 shots. And it's crazy. You know, she really just got 4 shots right now, and I think it looks pretty natural. It's not particularly swollen, and she looks pretty good.
And that's one syringe, right?
That's 1 syringe. Okay.
Wow.
So just for the record, the majority of people wind up with about 2 syringes, but that's with 1 syringe.
You look marvelous.
And it didn't hurt.
Thanks.